Yeah, hi Sangram, hi Suma.
Yes.
Yeah, so in today's session, we are going to talk about the index. Okay, so which is very important topic in a SQL journey. If you understand this, the index topic, uh, that will really create a good impressions in company when you are working. At the same times, when you prepare for this, there's a lot of questions on indexing in interview as well. But it's not about only about the interview or crack that interview and getting the job, but in a real time scenario also this will help you a lot. Okay, because there is a lot of performance related issues, slow running queries and all that stuff. Okay, so that will understand in detail step by step about okay, so what is index, why index, when to use index, all that stuff. Okay, so before we start, okay, I just want to hear from you guys. Okay, so when it comes to index, what is the first thought come to your mind?
Like indexing a database like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 to summarize it or remember the location.
Okay, good. Suma, what is first thought come to your mind when it comes to indexing?
Like if if you are showing the book, like in the books and on the page, they have this from here to here, page numbers kind of
Okay,
indexing. Yeah. Like you have the title and you have the page numbers.
right. So
Yeah.
how it is useful if I use the index?
It will be easy if you want to know, like I'm saying in the book, if you want to open any chapter or anything, it will be
Easy.
easily you can, if you know the number, easily you can just open it.
Perfect, perfect. Good catch. Okay. Now tell me what is first thought come to your mind when you are looking at this image,
It is cluttered very much.
right?
Yes.
Scattered, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where the indexing concept is come into the picture, right? So if you, as compared to this book, right, and as compared to the image that I have shown before this, right? So that's simple two images explain the importance of the indexes, right? That can be, it will be in the well arranged, right? So that it you can get the book easily, or again on top of book, if you want to find any chapters, you can find it easily, right?
Yeah.
So that's the very simple, right? So tell me, in the scattered book, it will take time to find the book, or in the in arranged way, it will easy to find the book,
Arranged way.
right? Okay. So scenario number one that we are going to talk, okay, here. So these are my scattered book. Okay. Now, if I ask you to find one book in this, okay, let's say there's thousands of book, okay. And now if I ask, okay, so just find one book, okay, let's say the name of book, let's take the examples, my book, okay, that is Build an Unstoppable You, okay. So if I ask, if I given the task to you, find the book from this list. Okay, let's say this is the image where in library the book is arranged in a scattered way, right? And if I ask to find this book, what will be the steps that you will follow?
First, the name.
Right,
We will search for the name.
right.
And if there are multiple books with the similar title, we can search by author also.
Yeah, right. But real time, just imagine a real time situation, okay, where there's a lot of books. These are the books, okay, and you have to find one book. The name of the book is like the Build an Unstoppable You. That book you have to find.
Mm.
Okay, so how you will find the
We,
book here?
we can use the grouping method. First, we can group like
Okay,
books
so
and
first of
then
all,
start.
uh, hold on. So first of all, just don't go into the technical things, okay? Just don't go into
Okay,
the technical things. It's very simple. Just a real time scenario. Just imagine you are entered into this library and the book is scattered in
Yeah.
okay,
this
okay.
way, and you have to find the book that let's say I give the one X book that you have to find. How you will find? What is the steps that you will find?
We have to search one by one.
Perfect. That's what I'm
Yeah.
expecting, right? So you have to go and you have to find book by book, right? You have to find book by
Mm.
book because you don't have any other option, right?
Yeah.
Let's say there are the thousands book. You have to, there are chances that you have to scan every single book, right? You have to read every single book, name of the every single book in order to find that. Let's say bad luck if the book is at if you find that book at 990 number, you have to scan those numbers, right? That is the big
Mm.
problem, right? So that is scenario number one. Okay, so I have mentioned this all this scenario here. Okay, so that's what. Okay, so you will scan all the books, right? So you will scan all the books by name, right? That is scenario number one. Okay, now tell me. Okay, so now let's me show you another image. Okay, now my book is arranged in a proper way. Okay, now my book is arranged in a very proper way. Okay, now if I ask you to find the book, okay, let's say same book, that's Build an Unstoppable You, that book I ask you to find. Okay, what will be your approach? Means how you'll find this book? Again consider the same situation. Okay, same real-time situation. This is the library, and in library you have to find that book. Okay,
If it is in structured way, it will be easier to find.
yes, absolutely. It is in structured
Yeah.
way now. It is in structured way now, but
Yes.
it is in structured way. But even you have to find this book. Again, you have to go by step again, right? The same way that you did for the
Mm,
first scenario, right? You have
okay.
to go row by row. I mean, you have to go book by book, right? But
Book
in
by
this
book.
way, in this second scenario, what you are doing, you you have that sequence, right? That book is in proper sequence, arranged in a well manner, so that will be little bit easy for you, because even though you have to scan all the record, you have to search for every single book, you have to find every single book, right? But this time the book is in a sequence, right? That's why it will be little bit easy for you, right? So let's say there are 1000 books is in sequence, 1 to 100, 1 to 1000. If I given the number to the books, right? And if I ask you to find the book which is at 970 number, so it will be little bit fast for you, right? Because now the numbering is there, right? But
Yeah.
numbering is there, so that if I ask you find the book at number 970, it will be bit faster as compared to the scenario one, right? But still you are scanning that index, right? You are going that uh, in that number passion, right? So that scenario in a SQL, in the technical term, we call it as index scan. Okay, because this time index is available, but still you are scan all the books by index, right? Right, but at the same time, now let's say if I given the index to all these okay books 1 2 3 till 1000, but if I ask you to find again the book with the name, again you will get into the same situations, right? The way it was for scenario one, right? If I ask you to find the same book, you don't have that map or index. Okay, so again you have to scan all the records, right? And you have to scan every single book to find that a specific book, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got it? So even though my sequence is there, book is arranged in well manner, but if I don't have any index, again I will be in trouble, because again I have to go and scan every single book to find the book by name. Okay, so if I go and find by name, again I will go with the scan, right? index scan. Okay. Now let's say the third scenario now. Okay. Now just imagine this is in sequence. Okay. This is proper in a sequence. Book is arranged in 1 to 1000. Okay, properly. Okay. So let's say, where is my book list? So let's say this is my book. Okay. So these are my books. Okay. And now let's say this is your first scenario, right? My book is arranged in a different manner, right? Book IDs, the book is not in sequence like this. Can you see this, right? My book is not
Yes.
uh, in sequence. So this is my first scenario where I will go and do the scan. Now what I will do, I will just filter this data in a sequence order. Okay. So what I will do here,
Sorting.
right? Okay. So now in this case, I'm sorting. Okay. A to Z. Okay. Expand the selections. That's fine. All sort must be colon or specific author selected criteria and right. Okay, just forget about this. I will show you in practical in the SQL. So for this, let's say my third scenario is that this is my book are in a sequence. Okay, now but at the same times you have the index as well. Okay, so let's say 1 to 1000 book is here, but for this book I have created one index. Okay, the way your library keeper arrange the book and keep the book, right? So when you ask for any single book, he can give you easily, right? Because he know all that index and map, right? So based on that he can give you the book easily, isn't it?
Mhm.
Right. So how we can identify this? Because he have that index and map, right? So based on that he can easily give you the same way, right? Let's say in this example. Okay. uh, okay, so indexing, what I mean is that now in this case, if you have the all the 1000 books, but you have the index where you can your book name is arranged in a way. Okay, so this is your book titles, right? So let's say if this is arranged in a proper way. Okay, so what will happen that if you if I ask you to find the book that is, let's say, the Wings of Fire, and if you have that index, right? So in index, if you find that Wings of Fire, this book is at position number 970. So directly you'll go to the number 970 and you'll get that book directly, right? Because you have the index where you are saying that my book, right? My book name is in alphabet orders, right? And based on that alphabet orders, if I ask you to find the book that the Wings of Fire, so for that book, if the number is 997, and you can go and directly you'll go to that number, right? 997, and you'll find that book. So this way you will get it in faster way, right? Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that scenario in SQL term we call it as the index. Sorry, indexing. So that indexing is always that based on book name you can directly find, based on book name index you can directly find book. Now I'll tell you the real-time example for this. Okay, just imagine if you have one book, right? Okay, and for this book, let's say for this book having 5000 pages. Okay, and if I ask you to find the chapter number 7 for that, So how you can find that chapter number, let's say chapter number 17 if I ask you to find. Okay. So how you can find that chapter number 17? Because for this book you have the index, right? At
Yeah.
end of the book there is index, right? And
Yes, sir.
there is indexing and the chapter name, right? So these are the chapter names, and for this chapter they are giving the page number as well, right? So this is chapter 1, this is chapter 2. So let's say the pages are from, let's say, 1 to 15, right? 16 to, let's say, 45, like this, right? So if I ask you find the chapter 17, because now you know that you have the index, right, in your book, and based on that index you know that for the chapter number 17, my page number is, like, let's say my page number is 1455, right? So now you have this for this chapter, this is the index you have, so it will be very easy for you to go directly to the chapter number 17. How you can go to the chapter number 17? Using this index, right? So that index will help you to find that chapter very easily. Okay, so in real times if I correlate these things, okay, so when you are saying your book, right, and it's book index, okay, so always remember the book index will help you to find any chapter, right? And the book, the data pages, right? So for your book, always arranged in a book number, right? So have you ever seen that book is arranged in the name? There is always any book you can find, right? There is always numbers, pages, right? So that based on the page number, right? Have you
Yes.
ever seen any book that is arranged in name wise, or for book is there any numbers, is any name is given for every page? Have you ever seen?
No.
No.
Right. So the reason for this, my book, the reason for is that it will be very easy for you or to scan and find any single page based on that indexes, right? So that's the reason. Let's say I have the one book, okay. Now we'll understand this all these three concepts, okay, in practically, okay, so that you'll understand what I mean, okay. So let's step one, okay, so let's create one book table and I will add some 100 or 120 books, okay. So now I execute this, okay. So 116 records are out. Now, okay, if I do a select star from this, okay, can you see this? This is the data, right? And if you can see, the data is scattered, right? It is not in a well arranged manner, right? Can you see that the book ID is in sequence,
Yes, sir.
right? So
Not in
right, not in sequence. So if you can correlate with the image one that I have shown to you, so it's exactly same like this, right? The data is scattered, the book is scattered. The same way my data is scattered, okay. Now you will come to know that every time when you are creating uh, uh, the table, why you create the identity column. Are you getting that sense? Is there
Yes.
identity column created by me in this book? Not, because intentionally I am not
No.
created that identity column. Just want to show you the importance of that identity column. Okay. So now you can see that if I haven't created the identity column, okay. So that's the reason when I'm executing this, okay. When I'm executing this, I can see that data is not in correct order, and all these books, all this data, books data is scattered, right? Now let's understand. There is one execution plan, okay. So in SQL you have this. If you can see that, if you mouse over here, can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Include
Mm.
actual execution. Yeah. So just
Yeah.
click on it. Yeah. So just click on this, enable this, okay. So now I enable this, I click on this, and if I execute this, okay, I can see the same records, but can you see one more tab here, execution plan,
Yeah.
right? So just click on this execution plan, and now you can see what is the operation is here. This, what is the
Table
operation?
scan.
Table scan. right? So
Yeah.
this is what the scenario number 1, right? Table scan, that you will go every single record, every single book, you will search for every single book, right? So this is what your scan operation. Got it? Even if I go, so you can see that, okay, if you just mouse over on this, you will find that estimated number of rows to be read is 116 and actual number of rows read. Okay, here you can see that both you will get actual number of rows read is same 116 and estimated number of rows to be read is again 116. That means it will do a scan for every single record. Okay, now the scenario that I showed you, right, that if I this is the books which is scattered in a way, and if I ask you to find one specific book, so you have to scan every single record, every single book, right, to find that. The same way now here I'm asking you to find this book, okay, The Winds of Winter. Okay, so I have added the where conditions. Now if I execute this and if I go for execution plan, the operation will remain same, right? It will be table scan, right? So this is a very heavy operation.
Okay.
Always remember, right? It's a table scan. Even I use the where conditions, it is going for the table scan because there is no index, right, on this column, on this table. The data is not arranged. Data is not arranged right in a right way. That's the reason it will go always go for table scan. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So this is the first scenario. Okay, so far so good. Any doubt?
No.
No.
Okay, good. Now I will tell you, when you create identity columns, right, the data is and data goes into in sequence. Okay, proper sequence, right? So what we'll do here in step 3, we will create a clustered index. Okay, now what is a clustered index? Any idea?
The one which you showed, which was not indexed.
Right, book ID is not in index order, right?
Right.
So we are going to create a clustered index for this. Okay, so let's try for that clustered index first, and you will understand the magic behind it. Okay, so let's create clustered index, and the always follow this naming conventions when you are creating clustered index. CLIX, okay, clustered index, and then you have to give the table name for which table name you are creating, right? And for which column we are going to create a clustered index. If you can see, this is the data, right?
Book
Sorry,
ID.
book ID, correct.
Yeah.
For book ID we are going to create a clustered index, right? So just give that book ID. Okay, so this is my index name. Okay, and this is the index that I have to create. Okay, create clustered index, index name, and on which tables we are going to create this table, right?
Books. Yeah.
We are
Books,
creating, yeah, we are creating index on this book, and for which column? Book ID,
ID.
correct?
Book ID.
Yeah, so I'm adding here book ID. Now if I create this clustered index and execute this, okay, now my clustered index is created. Now if I go and do a select star from book, what will happen? I'll show you the magic. Okay,
It will show all the data
yes,
unclustered.
yeah, it will show you all the data to you, but let
But
me
it will remain the same, no?
sorry,
Okay.
Suma, what is it?
So since it is clustered, right? So I thought it would not show sequential numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
No, actually, it will. The reason that I will tell you. Okay, so when you are creating a clustered index, okay, for this, okay, so it will arrange your data in a sequence manner. So just
Okay.
imagine that now you have, so this is for book library example. You can take another example of right book. You have one book, and in one book you have the 5,000 pages. So for every single page, it creates a number, right? So you have that actual data. So you have physically ordered your data, right? So when you always remember, okay, so when you create a clustered index, data is get stored in physical order. Make sense? You can correlate this with your book. Okay, you can correlate this with your book pages. So when you are creating an index or your book having the pages right in sequence, right, the same way when you are creating clustered index, you can see that my data is now my data is in sequence now, right?
Yeah.
Good. So let's understand now. Okay, now if I go and do a select star from books, okay, and this time uh, again I have that execution plan. Okay, now tell me what will be my execution plan. Okay, what operations it will do. Now you can correlate again this with the same scenario that I explained to you, right? That first in the first scenario there was data was scattered. That's why it's did a table scan. Now my books are in a sequence, and if I go to find any book, this times it will instead of whole table scan, it will happen an index scan, right? Now it will not
Yeah.
go for the table scan, it will go for the index scan, right? So if you can go and see a execution plan, you will find it's clustered index scan now, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So initially it was a table scan, but now I have created index, that's why it's going for clustered index scan. Okay, and if you can see estimated number of rows and actual number of rows to be read, how many can you tell me?
Estimated is 116 and actual also is 116.
Yeah, same, right? So if you remember in step one when we did when we used in step two when we used where conditions, right, still it did a table scan because there was no indexing. Now it's
Mm.
did index scan, right? So now if I go and execute this for this specific book ID, it scan for all the books. That's why it was index scan. But now if I go and find a specific book, okay, select star from books where a book ID is equal to 117. So now again, let's go to the real-time scenario where let's say you have book is arranged in a manner in library. You have the 120 books, and if I ask you to go and find the book with number 117, so now you will be in a scan mindset or in a seek mindset.
If it is structured, we will seek
Correct. Now our
seek
data,
mindset.
right? Now our data is in now we have already created index, right, for this book. So we have all this data in a sequence manner, right? So it is already in sequence manner. So if I ask you to find there's 120 books arranged and just go and find 117 books, of course you will not go for scan mindset, right? You will directly go with the seek mindset and
Go
you'll
ahead.
find that book there, right? So if
Yeah.
you go and execute this, right, and if you're going to go and execution plan, you will find a clustered index seek. Did you get that?
Hmm.
Okay.
Perfect.
Because we are like seeking for only one book here.
Yes, we are giving the specific number. You can give any number. Right now, this
Yeah.
time your book is in arranged 120 books in the library, and even if I ask you to go for book number 50, if I ask you go for book number 78, 120,
Mm.
any, you will directly go with the seek mindset, right? You will not go with the scan mindset, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's a clustered index scan. It's an index seek, right? So now if you can go here and yeah, this is our third scenario, right? Where I see that you can go with index seek. It will directly seek for that number. It will seek
Okay.
for that specific book. But here is one problem now. Okay. Because your book is ordered in book ID sequence, right? Not in a sequence of title. Now I will tell you what will happen. Okay, if I go and do a select star from books where title is equal to this good to great, if I ask you to find this book, what will happen again? Now again go to that same situation scenario where I explained you, right? So this is my books. These book are now all in sequence. Okay,
Yeah.
but this book all are in sequence. So it is easy for you to find by sequence. But if I ask you to find by name, again you will be in the troubles and you have to again find with the scan mindset, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I go here and if I do execute this, again what will happen? It will go into the again a scan method, index
Okay.
scan. Got it?
So, which means clustered index is limited only to IDs, like book ID?
A really perfect and good question. Okay. That
Yeah.
clustered index, just imagine like, okay, the clustered index, just imagine like it's your physical order. So just imagine book, your book is ordered in a book number, right? Your book is your book is always arranged in a page numbers, right? So if I ask you to find the page number in your book, you can easily find that, right? Let's say I ask you have the one book having the 5,000 pages, and if I ask you to find the page number 4025, you can immediately find that because you have that page number, you know that, right? You will go with the sick mindset directly, right? You know that it is close to end of my book, and that page number 4,000 plus means it will be close to my end of my book, right? Something like that, because that
Yeah.
time you go with the sick mindset. But if I ask you to find the chapter, again you don't know, right, what is the sequence for that chapter. There is no index. Let's say it's like you are currently in a situation where you have the book 5,000 pages book, but there is no index at the back of the page. Okay. So this is what here it is like, if I ask you to find the one chapter from that 5,000 pages book, it will be difficult for you. So that again you have to go with the scan, right? Scan mindset, because you don't have that page. But at the same times, if there is index is available, index at the back of the page, end of the page, there is index is always available, right? Chapter wise. So it will be very easy for you to identify based on that chapter. You can easily go to the index and you can find that chapter, right? And in chapter it's very easy for you to go directly to that page, right? For example, yes, I showed, right, in the index, let's say I ask you to find the chapter 17, you can go to directly this page, right? And then for this page it's very easy for you to go to that page, right? Because it is in physically ordered, right? Got it?
Yeah.
Don't worry. Okay, sometimes it might be little bit confused, but I hope end of this session, so you'll be very clear on this part. So don't worry. Now you can see that. Okay. So this is a clustered index. So that if so you can create only one clustered index. Okay. Only one clustered index on table, on your book. Okay. Or on your table. Any reason? Again, you can correlate this with the real-time scenario.
It will clash with the book name
Exactly.
if we try to create clustered by book names.
Name, right?
Yeah.
So again, very simple, right? So you can arrange your book either by page number or either by chapter number, a chapter name, right? Correct. You can't order your book in by both options, right? Like I want to order page number and at the same time I want the page chapter name also in a sequence. It's not possible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same way here. Let's say this is my book. Okay, select start from book. I can either order my